Hey, you guys. I am just popping in here today because there's just been a lot going on the past couple weeks. Definitely, I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of strong emotions after everything that happened up in Boulder a couple days ago. And so I wanted to come in here and just share a little bit with you guys about tapping, what tapping is, kind of a little bit about how it works, and then just show you how to do a round so that you can use it in your own life. So tapping, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's using different pressure points, acupressure points in your body to release trauma. It's great for releasing trauma, stress, anxiety, any of those kind of negative emotions. And I had a teacher that used to say that if we don't get the emotions in motion, then the issues get stuck in the tissues. So whenever we have a stress response, whenever we experience vicarious trauma, like so many of us experienced on Monday, seeing everything that was happening in Boulder, then our body goes into a stress response and it activates our nervous system. And so what EFT can do and what tapping can do is it can actually help you start to move some of those emotions through the body. I think it's really important to know that in order to set this up, you really need to sit with some of those negative emotions first and see where they're feeling in the body, where you feel them in the body, so that you can then be able to clear them. Okay, and this is super important just in general, that a lot of times we try and shove negative emotions away, and then we don't actually allow ourselves and our bodies to experience them, so we don't go all the way through that emotion. There's a part in, I believe it's in the book Burnout, where she's talking about it like a tunnel, right? So we're going through this tunnel and we stop in the middle of the tunnel and we don't let the emotion go all the way through the tunnel, and so we don't actually process it. So first, what you do is, if you are experiencing any sort of anxiety, stress, fear, any of those things, you sit with it, right? So you sit and you notice, where am I feeling this in my body? Okay, for me, it's almost always a visceral response in my chest. I get a lot in my chest and my solar plexus. That's typically where I notice things in my body. I'll notice that my breath is shallow. I might feel tight. I might feel like I have nervous butterflies. So I was talking to someone who was mentioning that they were like kind of stressed out about going to, like, driving to their job in Boulder yesterday because of everything that happened. And so you really just sit, and this is great. This is a great thing if you struggle with anxiety. This is a really great thing. So you notice where it's living in your body, and then you, on a scale of 1 to 10, you rank it. How bad is it? Is it an 8? Like, is it really tight in your chest? Is it a 5? Is it like kind of moderate? And what you're trying to do is you're going to rank it before and you're going to rank it after the round of tapping. I like to write down everything that I'm feeling, right? I am having anxiety right now about driving into town. I'm having anxiety about going to the grocery store. I'm having anxiety about going and getting my COVID shot, like whatever this is. So write it down, write down everything that I'm feeling, read everything that everything that you wrote down. And again, really sit with it in your body. And then to start out the tapping, I'm just going to use an example that like, we'll use the example of just general anxiety if you're feeling anxious, okay? And feeling it in your chest. So you'll start by doing the karate chop points. You get centered and grounded in your body and your spine. I like to do this with my eyes closed. I'm going to keep my eyes open so that I can see if people are on here or not. And you start by tapping the karate chop point together. So I'm tapping the edge of my hands. And you would say out loud, I like to say it out loud, you can do it internally too. Even though I'm feeling anxiety in my body, even though I feel like my chest is really tight, even though I'm experiencing all of this tension in my stomach and my heart center today, I still fully love and accept myself. So you can say that until you're ready to move on to the next point. The next point is going to be the top of the head. And then you tap the top of the head, and you continue repeating that. Even though I'm having this anxiety and I can feel it in my chest and I'm experiencing anxiety right now, I still fully love and accept myself. When you're ready to move on, above the eyebrows. Even though I am feeling this anxiety and I feel tightness in my chest, I still fully love and accept myself. After the above the eyebrows, you go to the outside of the eyes and you tap there and you keep repeating. And you can even add on. Maybe it's moved, some of the tension's moved into your shoulders. Even though I'm experiencing anxiety and I feel it in my chest and my heart and my shoulders, I still fully love and accept myself. Then you move to under the eyes. You tap there and you keep repeating. Then you tap right above the mouth. Then you tap right below the mouth. And I'm going through this a little bit quickly with you guys. You can pause this video if you're doing this at home and you want to, you want to tap on this a little bit longer. After the chin, under the mouth, you go at the collarbones. I like to add in the thymus gland. This is not one that people always do, but I like to add in tapping the thymus gland. And then there's kind of this point here where you can massage, that it's like if you're doing push-ups, you can massage here. Even though I'm experiencing anxiety and I feel it in my chest, I fully love and accept myself. You go to the outside of the ribs, and then you go on the front of the ribs, and then you're going to do each finger. Okay, so you're going to take your fingers, the thumbs, tap them together. Then you do the pointer fingers and tap them together. Middle fingers, tap them together. And notice I'm tapping the inside of my thumbs, fingers, middle finger. So it's the part of the fingers that are closest to the thumb, right? Then the pinkies. And then you're going to take, this is called the 9 gamut point. So right here between the pinky and the ring finger tendon, there is this kind of a space there, and you're going to tap on that point. You're going to continue to say your setup statement of, even though I am feeling anxious, even though I am experiencing this in my chest, I fully love and accept myself. The next thing that you're going to do is, if you've had your eyes closed this whole time, you're going to open your eyes. You look down to one side, then back to center, down with the eyes to the next side, back to center. Then you do a full circle all the way up and around with your eyes in one direction, full circle all the way up and around with your eyes in a second direction. So this is similar, if any of you have heard of EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprogramming, something like that. EMDR, it's used for trauma response. So similar stuff is going on in the brain. Okay. So you're continuing to tap there. You've done the down to the one side, down to one side, circle one way, circle the other way. Then you hum a tune, whatever tune. You're working in the part of your brain that's the creative part of your brain. You can switch and move to the other hand if you need to move to the other hand. After you hum, count by twos up to 40. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up to 40. Hum again. So now we're working right and left hemisphere of the brain. And that little section there is kind of the meat of the sandwich. Then we're going to start the round of tapping all over again. You go back to the crown of the head, keep saying your statement, even though I'm feeling anxious and I feel tight in my chest. I love and accept myself. Above the eyebrows, outside of the eyebrows, under the eyes, under the nose, under the mouth, collarbones. I like to add here the thymus. Again, that you kind of massage that sensitive part. And then you go to the outer ribs, front of the ribs. Okay, tapping thumbs, pointer fingers, middle finger, ring finger, pinky fingers, and then you end where we began with the karate chop point. Okay, once you've done that, it's kind of like a sandwich. So the tapping points that you do are like the bread, and then the looking down, right and left, making the circle, humming, all of that is kind of like the meat of the sandwich. So usually it takes me 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes me to really like sit with that negative emotion, that more challenging emotion, and really begin to feel that and feel that dissipating. Sometimes I will notice that I yawn or I burp when I'm doing this, and sometimes that's just things moving through our nervous system, because if you think about it, like our face, the vagus nerve goes into our face, the vagus nerve goes into our stomach. So it might be as that some of that energy is moving through the nervous system, you may notice that you're yawning or burping or things like that. So, so for those of you that are interested, if you are like watching this video and you're like, I don't know that I could actually do this on my own. Let me know. I'm happy if you are interested in setting up a tapping session with me. I'm happy to guide you through it. We can sit down and figure out what you need to tap on and how and set up your statement and stuff like that, just so you can get comfortable with that. I'm happy to share that with you. But I thought that this would be a really good thing to share just because of everything that happened on Monday. There's just a lot of energy, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress right now. And so I wanted to share this with you all just as a way to kind of clear some of that energy through the nervous system. It seems super woo-woo, I know, but our nervous systems, it's like part science, part woo, right? So that's kind of where I land on a lot of things, half science, half woo. So if you have specific questions, definitely DM me, reach out to me, let me know. I'm happy to chat with you. I'm also going to be doing, and I'll put this in the chat, I'm also going to be doing a free workshop the first week of April on a Tuesday night. I'm going to be doing a free workshop about the chakra system and kind of giving you guys a little bit more information about chakras, energy, and the nervous system and how they all relate. So again, part science, part woo. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be totally free. I'll put information about that in the chat as well. Reach out to me if you have questions. Please take care of yourself. This has been a hard, emotional week for a lot of us, and reach out if you need anything, if you need any support. So love you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Talk to you soon.